Hello, beautiful people. Two of your favorite pundits are here, Tanna Valentine and Neon, at your service. And today we're talking about everybody's least favorite subject, New Year's resolutions.
Only you have that drama.
Well, it deserves drama because if you think some people maybe keep their New Year's resolutions, others maybe don't, maybe you have one that you kept and one that you didn't. Well, guess what? I faithfully make New Year's resolutions every year and I have never kept a single one. I'm a complete loser of New Year's resolutions, but even before we hear the confession from Tanna Valentine, which hopefully won't be as disastrous, I want to ask you, do you know why in the world are we even making New Year's resolutions? You know?
You're going to tell me.
Yes, I know. So guess what, people? Just like pretty much everything in our Western world comes from ancient Greece and ancient Rome. That's right. Do you remember the two-faced god Janus?
Yes, I do.
Janus. January is named in honor of Janus, the two-faced god. Well, guess what? This was, in the days of ancient Rome, right, the god of beginnings, ends, and transitions. He also ruled all the transitional spaces like doorways. Any doorway is a space of Janus. And guess what day of the whole year was dedicated to Janus? January 1st, the beginning of the Janus month. And for us, it's the beginning of the new year. Guess what else was going on? Well, first of all, apparently, ancient Romans invoked Janus at the beginning of anything because he is the god of beginnings, right? And the fact that he has these two faces, one face is looking into the future and one is looking into the past, and we're all at the moment in between the past and the future, right? So apparently ancient Romans believed that if they promise something to Janus on January 1st, like they will be better, they will do this better, they won't commit as many crimes, they will repel the barbarians with new vigor, they won't drink as much wine at their drunken parties, that Janus will forgive them the mistakes and the crimes of the previous year. That's why, with alacrity, they were giving promises to Janus on January 1st. Can you believe it, people? That's why we're doing it. Like those ancient Romans were just as lost. And I just can't tell you, I'm baffled that I've never been able to keep a promise that I made to myself, a deal that I attempted to make with myself. So I'm really curious. In the course of this conversation, my goal is to try and find out why this is happening, right? Now, I want to know about you, Miss Tanna Valentine.
Right.
Are you keeping your New Year's resolutions throughout the year? Are you working hard? Are you better than most of us?
I think that, to me, it depends on how you define resolution, I mean, I actually have enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. I enjoy taking the end of the year. I enjoy looking at what came previously, what went well, what didn't go well. To me, it's an opportunity for reflection, rumination, and I think that has tremendous value. And I also feel that looking ahead to the new year, a new calendar year, is it's exciting, it's fun, it's like all these adventures yet to be had, and that's like a fresh new notebook, for people that like notebooks or journaling or just a fresh piece of paper. I love a fresh piece of paper. I love writing and putting lists on it. There's something very pleasing about that, I think. But in terms of New Year's resolutions, I for the past several years, I actually haven't done very much with it. But again, I was never like, well, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Oh, well, I'm going to quit drinking. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Yeah, right. Well, we know we would all, everyone in this room would fail that one. So, but that actually is a very good point. Well, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think we want to try something new, try something fresh, try something that improves us. But what I would say I'm not fond of, or where you say, why doesn't it work? Why didn't it work for you? I think that many people, the New Year's resolution is something like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds this year. What does that even mean, though? You know, and they're making these things that are kind of, it's a little bit amorphous. It's specific, 10 pounds. Okay, but what does 10 pounds mean?
Yeah.
What is that? And where is that even coming from? In your heart, is that going to change you as a person? Is that going to make your life better? You're going to get the parking spot. You're going to get a promotion. You know, your people you love, their health will be great. No, 10 pounds is nothing, and it means nothing. Now, if the idea is more better health, let's say, I would like to improve my health. You know what? I would like to be 10 pounds lighter, as just because, you know, society and whatever, and I'd love to be a different size. But realistically, I'm me, and this is where I'm at. What you're really saying, or maybe the better way to look at it, a more positive way. Because, sorry, I'm rambling because it's been a long week and I've had the flu again. My brain, I think, got fried this time. I think many New Year's resolutions potentially fail. From the very beginning, they're coming from a place of, they're coming from a negative framework. They're being in a negative framework of, you are not enough. Where I am standing here right now is not enough. Therefore, I must lose 10 pounds, must quit drinking, must quit smoking, do yoga every day, must be a better dancer. I'm going to practice my dancing every day. But there's a certain negativity here, because the implication is I'm not enough. Hey, I don't care what weight you are. Your weight's your own business. None of my business is your business. If you're on top of your health, your body, whatever. But if we were to consider putting this just in a different modality and making it almost feels like, a lot of New Year's resolutions feel like a punishment. Like these are things to whip us and punish us for not having some kind of imaginary perfection. Anyway, that's my thought on that.
You know what I have discovered? One thing that I have never tried, but I wonder if this is going to work. So, do you know the genre of inspiration board?
Yeah.
Or they call it a mission board,
like a dream board, a vision board.
Right. A board, you know, some place where you pin pictures that somehow for you mean something. They symbolize your dream. Like maybe you want a spectacular mansion, or, you know, a beautiful look, or some particular whatever. So actually, I most commonly have encountered it in the entrepreneurial community. People who own a business and therefore they don't have a boss, they don't have any motivational outreach toward them, team building outreach, so they have to be their own motivator and boss, and these people are usually pinning all those, you know, images and trying to motivate themselves every day. Well, guess what? I started wondering if maybe I should try to do my New Year's resolution next time in the form of this board.
That's an interesting idea.
What? So you know this most primitive way to do it, like you want to lose weight. Okay, you think of some kind of most disgusting bitch you really despise, but she has a good body you want, right? So you take a picture of that bitch, you slap it on your refrigerator. Next time when you're going to binge on salami, right, or some cheese or something like that in your refrigerator, you see the disgusting face of the hated bitch and you're like, no, I don't want her to win, so you don't eat that salami. So in that most primitive,
it's like all negativity here.
It's
like
all I'm
like
saying
negativity.
Is that's how it's the traditional way.
But it could work for
it works.
some people.
So the board can be just like that. But yes, we want to try and turn it in a more positive thing. Not that I don't want the disgusting bitch to win.
Not spite and not mean to, you know, who cares?
That's true.
Let her live her life.
You need, Of course. But you want to live a better life, right?
Boom! That's it. Can we not posit this in terms of enrichment? Not punishment, enrichment. That if I do X, Y, Z, if I go to the gym, if I'm not going to the gym at all, right? I want to lose 10 pounds. And don't be putting weird people's photos up on your refrigerator. Well, you could. I'm teasing. Although I think it's very weird.
I actually don't. Because if you have a family, you can't put some disgusting
thank
picture on
God.
your refrigerator.
God knows what would be on your refrigerator if you didn't have a family. But putting it there, rather than punishment, you're not worthy, you're not enough right now. How about, here's this shiny new year. What would enrich me? What could I do from here where I am, the resources I have, the person I am? Be real. Look, you can look at yourself and say, gosh, I feel I'd be more attractive if I was 10 pounds lighter. Okay, but that's because the other part of this is a workable game plan to get to that. But instead of even thinking that way, then, all right, I need to improve my fitness. If there's 10 pounds floating around that I shouldn't have on me, and people, let's be real and understand what true health is, which I don't think many people do. Anyway, put that to the side. I'm not going to the gym at all. I'm not working out at all. I'm not doing anything. Maybe the goal is one workout a week. Let's start with one workout a week. I want to improve my health. And maybe, analysis. Maybe you don't have 2 sodas a day. You cut back to 1. And you monitor. And you take it from there.
Yeah.
But instead of a punishment, it's more of an enriching. I will enrich myself by, I'm going to start a walking club at work. I've always wanted to try this exercise. Or, hey, how about this? I'm going to explore different exercises. Each month, I'm going to, just for the fun of it, I'm not committing to anything. Like the whole buy all the gym memberships in January. If you hate the gym, you have just flushed that money down the toilet. Okay? And now I'm not going to quote the studies, but there are studies. Gyms are like specific people will go and work out and love it. And I'm one of them. I'm a total gym rat. But it's not for everyone. And if you're not comfortable and you hate going, you're not going to go. Then you find something else. You don't have to go to the gym.
Yeah, that's it. I think in most instances, people set the resolutions, the goals that they don't really care about.
Yeah.
There is something different.
They set a goal that they've kept setting maybe and kept failing at.
But anyway, I hold this phone in my hand, not because I'm checking my Instagram likes, I don't care about that, but because I discovered, back to the vision or inspiration board, there is an app for these people. If you don't want the bitch to be on your refrigerator, put her right there in your app. So the app, it's like a space divided into 9 squares, right? 3 and 3. And here you put a picture into each square. And this is something you put a picture to motivate you in health and prosperity. Next one is reputation and fame. Something that Tanna, I'm sure, needs to improve in her life, reputation.
Don't be pushing me, lady. Gonna get on my last nerve here.
Love and marriage. Another thing she needs to improve. Creativity and children. Oh, we're good on that front. But anyway, in the center of this particular app, they have your health, which is kind of important because, everything is predicated on that. Next, family and community. Lovely. Something to motivate you in that one. And you just can simply set it as a goal. Every time you look at it, okay, am I doing something for family and community? Knowledge and self-cultivation. I love it.
And
go to museums, people.
Perfect. Because again, what is enrichment? Our friend Rich, enrichment, our friend Rich, how did that work out? So we have a very dear friend.
That's why he's cold.
His New Year's resolution this year, go to 1 museum a month. That's great, because it's not punitive, but if you actually did it and had a new experience each month, you are expanding your horizons. Who knows who you meet? Maybe you invite some friends and it's a social thing. I think that's a beautiful New Year's resolution. I love it. I love it.
We have here career and life mission. And the final square is helpful people and travel. Fabulous.
And I had just heard an interview about this because there's some big like computer electronics show that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And one of the big topics, or one of the like the top 10 apps, one of them was these resolution trackers, because I think that's part of it. Look, progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. If 6 months from now in June, maybe you've lost 2 pounds, but you are getting more exercise, however you define it. You need to define your starting point. If your starting point was 0 programmed exercise, and now twice a week you're doing something that's exercise, and you, in addition to evaluating your exercise, you evaluated your nutrition, because this country, we need serious nutrition education, because people do not understand what nutrition, they just don't get it. Your nutrition has improved. That may be another thing that I don't know that it's punitive. I'm going to have 2 vegetable dinners per week, like vegetarian dinners. I mean, I'm not saying you have to be vegetarian, but you know what I'm saying, like something not hard. It could be, you go out and purchase the food. I mean, you get any kind of food you want here in New York City, and maybe you explore, but that's maybe a little healthier than what you were eating. That's it. That's not hard, but you do need a way to track it. And I think the tracking can become, you kind of want this set up as you go in, because it is going to be a process. How can you know if you don't track?
There is also tracking. Yeah, I think even before that, I want to go back to why in the world do we do this? Why do we need to make this deal with yourself to do this? And I think the problem here, the way I see it, is that we all these New Year's resolutions are basically of compensatory nature. You know, it's our way of noticing that something is not right and trying to compensate. But what we do is we are addressing the symptom rather than the disease.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
So, like
Absolutely,
again,
yeah.
if you want to lose 10 pounds, it doesn't mean that you're like not sexy, not attractive, you're like a sluggish slob sitting like a couch potato. No, maybe you notice something else. Maybe you notice that there is not enough action in the romantic field, but it doesn't mean that you need to lose 10 pounds. It doesn't mean that you don't look sexy enough, you know? It may be a million of different reasons. Maybe you're not putting enough effort into making these things happen.
You're not going out. Are you out where people can meet you?
But it has nothing to do with the weight loss. Another thing is motivation, right? So first thing, this setting of the goal, I think is problematic with most of us. Like Tanna said, it comes from the negative. Yes, you're running away from debt, smoking, you know, like bad relationships, whatever. And that doesn't work. What works best is going to something amazing, right? Second, it's the strategy, and the thing in between the strategy and the goal setting is, I think, the passion and the motivation. You need to be passionate about it. So if you told me that I need to lose 10 pounds, which I need to lose, I just don't have enough passion about it.
Yeah.
I need a goal. Like if you told me that I need to lose it for a particular project, and it's something that I've always been dreaming to do, I will be working on it. So there has to be this passion in it somehow to bring you to that goal. And then then there has to be a strategy or tactic of achieving this with some kind of step-to-step process.
It takes awareness and analysis. I think almost everything in life, if you really want success, it comes back to that. Being aware of it, identify it, really think about it, and analyze it. And then you're going to get a better plan. But if you don't do the mental work, I think we're all just kind of reacting.
There is, I think, a way to distinguish between setting a goal for which you don't really care and setting a goal for which you care. So for instance, if I say, I'm setting myself a goal of losing 10 pounds, it's one thing. It's like, you need to do something. There is kind of like totalitarian approach here, like cracking out with, need to do it, right? another thing, if I told myself that I want to give myself something, if I told myself, I will set a goal of having special time where I can do something silly that I've always wanted to do, and I will not be judging myself for the lost time, nothing. It's just a gift. I would be so motivated for the second thing. I don't need any special motivation, any special project, nothing. I just want this as a gift.
But again, that could be an enrichment.
Yeah.
To me, that's something very enriching. I mean, if you're someone that loves food, then what about a resolution that you're going to try a different cuisine every month, or cook a different cuisine every month? You know, something that's fun. And I think particularly things that are experiential, like experiences, you're definitely going to do it, and you're going to then you grow as a person.
To some of us, maybe even partially to me, who are prone to cracking a whip on yourself, and I run myself with a whip, right? So it gives you a reason to sort of beat yourself up and come up with that negative motivation. Like, if I don't do this, I'm like a stupid idiot,
and
good for nothing.
It perpetuates that cycle.
It's not good.
Of negative self-talk.
Even though I know that negative motivation like this has worked for me on many occasions, but I know the wrongness of it. I suspect that I have lost more than I gained.
Yeah.
I actually looked around and asked around, and I came up with a list of potential New Year's resolutions. I'm going to run this list by Tanna right now. I have it on a paper here, so you know, people.
I'm getting my drink.
I got my homework. Got the homework. Okay, so what do you think if a New Year resolution would be to get new friends?
Oh, I like that. Or meet new people, because you can't guarantee a friend. But yes, be in the situation.
Yeah. Budget. Come up with budget for whatever.
Yeah, budgeting is good stuff.
It's nothing. You're not saying, I will save money for this and that. No, just come up with a budget. It's not saying that I will save so much money or I'll make so much money. No, come up with a budget for something that you know you're kind of spending and not thinking. You will come up with a budget. Doable.
Or to do a budget, you first have to analyze your income and your expenses. I mean, you can't do a budget unless you know what's coming in and what's going out.
Your homework. Yeah.
I mean, to just go there, what's the income? What's the outgo?
Declutter.
Well, I mean, that's super popular, but yeah, I mean,
good as a New Year's resolution, you know.
But that's kind of vague again, because it's. I mean,
well,
I think
if it is declutter a particular closet,
or maybe to spend 2 hours a week decluttering, or make it finite, whether it's a finite volume or a finite amount of time. Yes, depending on how much you might have to declutter. And stop buying. How about this? Don't buy more.
I have a good one. Research stress management. You're not telling yourself, I'm going to stop stressing over stupid shit, right?
Right.
You're just telling yourself, I'm going to go online and research stress management. Find out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Test what can work for me. This is like giving yourself a gift. It's like giving yourself a free therapist. Okay. FOMO. Fear of missing out. Stop it. That is a good one, I think. You know? Are you experiencing it, people?
No,
I
never.
do. Fear of missing out. That is a big thing for me. I must be there. I must make things happen in my life. So I'm the queen of that. And it's torturous. It just get the best out of you.
But where's the strategy? Like, how would you even stop that?
There is no strategy in this particular thing. It's just the function of the brain. It's a form of anxiety. That's what it is. So it's, again, I would say it probably goes into the same. Research how to stop anxiety and become mindful of it. Because when you're mindful that you're doing something because of the FOMO, the fear of missing out, rather than because you really need it. You know, I do a lot of stuff because of the fear of missing out. Okay. Giving back and charity. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I think that's something that as a
feel-good
society
thing.
and
And
we're not doing enough of it.
Yeah, exactly.
But then don't do it because someone tells you. Like Facebook now, I mean, so
as
full
a
of it.
New
But
Year resolution for yourself. You do it for yourself. And actually, there is another one I had here. Express gratitude. Find a way to express gratitude. That's a good one. You know, if you kind of decide that you will find a particular way to express gratitude, giving back gratitude, that kind of thing. Feel good. Again, makes you feel good, right?
well, doing things that make other people feel good. I think, and I think
And
there's
it
a lot
makes
of
you feel
opportunity.
good too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find a new cottage industry to do, like a creative thing that you can work on and sell.
Maybe that can be a lot of work.
Well, maybe you can just come up with an idea.
Like
I
maybe-
thought it was interesting.
Maybe explore a new hobby. I'm not
Interesting.
saying it is, but yeah, it
Yeah.
would depend if someone's inspired. But see, you're an entrepreneur, so to you that's like, whoo, to other people it's like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, maybe it's.
I would feel that as a chore, but that's me.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone else might love it.
Culture. That's another thing which I think is really amazing. It's relaxing, educating, elevating, opening your mind toward the world, toward yourself. So this is huge. Museums, concerts, solo people. You don't have to have a
you don't have
girlfriend
50
or
people.
a boyfriend to invite you someone. Just
So much going on.
go and submerge in it and be amazed.
Yeah.
Right?
And maybe
Okay.
something different. Like if you habitually do go to the ballet, I think it'd be super fun just to try something you've never tried before. Or, go to one opera if you've never done it. Maybe a resolution that this year I would like to go to 3 cultural performance events that I've never been to. Something just different.
Hey, we just
doesn't
gone
have to
to
be
Percy
expensive
Jackson,
either.
the musical
That's
on
right,
Broadway
it's different.
with my 8-year-old who is into Percy Jackson.
And you know what? And if you don't have the money, so many performances, are online, or you can get them at the library, or go on YouTube.
YouTube.
Just to make
Massive.
the idea that I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch Swan Lake. I've never seen it. I just feel I would like once to see that. I just want to do that.
All right, I have a really good one, people. And that is a ban on social media. For a little bit. Kind of like a break from social media.
I think you'd have to qualify that one because some people need it for information. I am not on. I do what I call drive-by, so I miss a lot. But I don't know. I think you'd really have to quantify that because if you're someone that's always here, you're not living your best life.
Yeah, well,
You need to identify how much time you're spending on there.
The reason I saw this suggestion is because it's been shown that spending a lot of time on social media contributes to depression because you are comparing, because of this comparison.
But you know what? I've never understood that. And maybe that's different generations or different people. I see stuff on social media. I'm not comparing myself to anybody. I'm living my own life. I know who I am. Maybe I know who you are, maybe I don't. I don't get that. Why is your self-worth in a position that somebody posting about a vacation is going to upset you? Why have you handed that to others?
Well, that's the whole point.
There's a much deeper problem there.
Yes, exactly.
Much deeper problem.
Self-worth. It's if there is some sort of, if it is compromised for you in a way, which is for a lot of us, then you...
And what I will say is when it's particular people and these people that are following their exes or following the nasty girl whose picture you want to put up on your fridge while you're dieting, unfollow that. Don't. If every time you look at it, it's negative, no, babies, you got to stop that. You have to have but again, awareness and analysis. Be aware that you're doing it and knock it off. My issue with social media is a lot of it's just waste of your time, waste of your creative energy. On the other hand, now I love being inspired by what people are doing, be inspired by imagery. But if you're not cruise, and out of that you're taking things and going somewhere, then you are maybe wasting time. So maybe that's what you need to think about.
Okay, next thing. And procrastination in one particular area.
But you need a strategy. But yes, yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Accept change in one particular area. Just basically tell yourself, okay, nothing can be done about that. Letting go.
That's life, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well,
not
and
possible
even
as a New Year's resolution.
And with the procrastination one, it's so funny because I was just thinking of that yesterday. Because I will procrastinate. There's a whole lot of things I don't like to do, and believe me, if I can procrastinate for years, I will. But just yesterday, I was thinking, no, whatever it is that's really bothering me, because there is always something. You need to take a minute and think and dig down to it, because it might not be what's at the top of the pile in your brain, and identify it. What is it that's really bothering me? Can I do something about it now, or can I not? Make that determination, and if you can't, somehow shelve it and go to the next thing, because procrastination, I think very often, something is bothering us. And that's why you're not settling down. But if we can start to...
You don't dare to say no to
I
yourself.
can't do this right now. Write it down, do it anyway, to identify it. I think that will help.
Okay. Another one is a good one, and this is play.
How many more are there? What? Okay.
I have a lot.
God.
I did a lot of research. I was just
Apparently.
looking and asking and working on this because I was thinking, what can motivate me? So one of the things is play. What is play? This is something that we've
Grown-up play dates.
Yes, grown-up play dates. We've been talking in our conversations about this a lot. You know,
But we do it a lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to have friends like, you know, us,
Maybe.
and play
You're
with these
still a
friends.
thin ice lady.
Do all sorts of crazy stuff, you know, fantasy makeup, crazy photo shoots, jump in water in your evening gowns or pajamas or whatever. Just crazy, funny stuff that maybe goes somewhere, maybe not. Maybe you can post
just
a
go to
picture,
brunch.
maybe not. Yeah.
Girlfriends, and you go to brunch once a month.
Yeah.
The book club, and you go to month, because again, play date is
Create
community.
a budget, and on that budget, go to the most fabulous bar or restaurant somewhere, you know, explore the high life on a budget, not doing it compulsively, just as research. So play, this is huge, right? For me, it's huge. There is an interesting one here, and somebody suggested self-promotion and being seen, which
that's a big one this year.
it's a big one. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a big for anybody who is in any business that requires promotional aspect, like us, right? We've been always all our life in performance business, so self-promotion is sort of like part of the business for us. But for people who are not in that, still being visible, showing up and sharing about their life, you know, being more open, talking to friends, posting pictures and stuff like that. I can see how this can be an actual New Year's resolution, you know, crawl out of your nest, be out there, you know.
Yeah. Take up your space.
How about this one? Forgive yourself for something. You
I
know?
like that. That's
Like,
beautiful.
If you're beating
Yes, I
yourself
love
for
that.
something, then you just make a New Year's resolution that this year you're going to forgive yourself for this. It's
Yeah.
like your
Let it go.
absolution of sins, indulgence. You're just getting it for yourself.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's actually
Yeah.
very good, because that's very positive and I think very healing.
So I want maybe to finish, right?
Good.
I want I want to mention this thing. So we just talked about beating yourself up, right? And I said that I'm one of those people who is guilty of this, but it's also a tool of my trade. You see, I react very good to cracking a whip on myself. I run myself like this. So I know, however, as I said, the wrongness of this, right? So as I was trying to wean myself from this mode and try to be more kind to myself in this goal setting, more compassionate toward myself, right? I came up with 3 things that really helped me to reverse my thinking. Well, not quite, I'm still working. It should be my New Year's resolution, right? But so one of them was do not compare yourself to others. Compare yourself only to yourself.
Yes.
Maybe at a different stage, right?
Yeah.
So that helped me, right? Next thing is kind of common thing, right? Perceive mistakes as a learning opportunity rather than an opportunity to beat yourself up, right? And finally, another one that I thought was also interesting and opened my eyes on something was to try to establish that inner critic inside of you who is pointing a finger at you and beating yourself up and doesn't let go, right? Try to address that inner critic and talk to that inner critic with kindness and basically extend your kindness and compassion to that inner critic, trying to understand why that persona inside of you cracks a whip on you so hard. So those three things were really important for me. And I'm still recovering New Year resolution.
Whip cracker.
Whip cracker. And because you see, normally I would be like, oh, all right, well, I blew that, but what could have I blow it every time. Well, no, maybe that should be my New Year's resolution.